What's going on, players and haters and mama makers? It's your least favorite duels here. Back with the probably my most popular videos, the Buster Blader series. I had to update the deck list because of the ban list, because I was running two enemy controllers and two kiteroids. So I kind of went a different approach now. So I usually run Curse of the Seal in this deck, but I think I found a way to there's a lot more annoying things out there that are going on lately, like the Shiranui monsters and tributing. So I'm running another different tech card besides Curse of the Seal, which is Curse of the Circle. So what this one does, as you can see, it's target one monster your opponent controls. Your opponent cannot tribute it or use it as a synchro material. So you pop this thing on a Shiranui tuner or like one of their monsters. They're not going into their synchros. You use this on what the heck is that thing called? A niche, like a Six Samurai monster. They're not going into Shien, so it stalls out the game a little bit. So we're running. What else are we running? We're also trying out Dark Magician as well, because we have a lot of our trap cards can activate anytime on our opponent's turn, pretty much. So this guy pops out easily. We're also running one Hex Sealed Fusion just for a generic filler synchro for anything, or fusion for anything. You know, the two Buster Bladers, three emblems of the Dragon Destroyer. We're running one Magicalized Fusion just as a oh shit button. If it gets to that point. And then, you know, three fusions, three of the Buster Whelps, and then here's the lineup. So what I like about this build that I actually did was I can use like my whole extra deck now. So I only have two Dragon Destroyer Swordsmen, but now I can go into like Dark Cavalry and Amulet Dragon because of Magicalized Fusion and Hex Sealed Fusion. It hasn't come up yet, but you know, maybe it's a nice like follow-up play, you know? So we'll see. Before we get into live gameplay, I do have like two replays. So let's get into those before we do anything else. And the deck's been performing like this pretty well. I've tried different versions, and it's been working out really, really, really good. So, and it's just been, I mean, it's typical Buster Blader, you know, people, as soon as they see the combo, as soon as they see the lockdown, they quit most of the time. I think you're going to see that in a couple of these replays. I think this one was the most exciting, I believe. I think this one was, I was fighting like a Blue Eyes deck that actually fought back. So that was pretty interesting. Ah, yes. Okay, so he's going to go right into Blue Eyes, obviously. Just heads up play right there. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, because I drew like the nuttiest hand ever. So I'm just going to go straight into, I'm just going to set everything and then go. So what I did is I brought out Buster Blader and set the Swordsman play. So if anything happens to Buster Blader, I can snatch his monster at this point. I just activate DNA Surgery right away to bring out my Dark Illusion Man. He becomes Dark Magician on the field. So now that he's on the field, I can go into Dark Paladin as well. So right here, I'm just going to snatch his monster up. You know, pretty much combos online with Buster Blader. So I activate everything here, thinking that I'm just going to go and mop him up. So I'm just going to set my fusion spell, and then I eat a wall of D. Like I eat a big old D right there. Like, look at that D. Like, just took me out. Alright, and I'm just, at this point now, since I have the lockdown, I'm just BMing. But you're going to see in this game where I'm just like, so pretty much what I do here is, when you do play Buster Blader, you don't always have to attack in, you know, because I do run a 22 card deck most of the time. So you don't want to overextend, you know, sometimes you can just deck out your opponent. So that's the plan right here, is I just put everything in defense mode, I don't let him play the game. And then he econs my freaking Buster Blader here, which I'm just like, oh crap. So now he can put his blue eyes in attack position, which I'm like, uh-oh. So he just wipes my board. And then, to make it even worse, he can Dragon Spirit of White my DNA Surgery or my Destruction Swordsman because the Buster Blader is on his side of the field, which I'm just like, uh-oh. So it's just looking really bad right here. Okay, so I'm going to Destiny draw. And so I grab Magical Fusion. And this was a misplay here because I didn't realize at the time that Magician and Dark Illusion doesn't... I thought it counted as a Dark Magician in the graveyard as well, but it doesn't. So that's why in the deck list I changed it out for one Dark Hex. I used to run 2 Dark Illusions, but now I'm just running 1 and then the Dark Hex sealed as well. So, because I wanted to pierce his nuts, like the goal was I was going to Magical Fusion and then bring out Dark Cavalry and do the double nut pierce. But that didn't end up happening. So right here I'm just going to go and Curse His Circle. So I Curse His Circle his Dragon Spirit of White. The reason why is so he can't tribute it to bring out Blue Eyes. Because you see here you could tribute it. So you cannot tribute with Curse of the Circle. So then I'm just going to go do some more BM, and then I smack him in the nuts. You know, pierce the nuts every time. Alright. So then we got, I think we'll do against Akiza, because I think this was the Shiranui monsters. Alright. And this is just more Curse the Seal, like putting in work as a tech option. If you're seeing a lot of... okay, and then I was also running Countergate. So there was one point when, with this build, I was just running a bunch of traps just to slow him down, but I kind of like playing a little bit more aggro a lot of the times with Buster Blader. So what I'm going to do here is, like, you want to be patient with your Curse of the Seal, because you see right here, let's say that I went and put the curse on Spectral Sword because he summoned it first. That means he could have brought out a level 7 and probably ended the game. Ended the game right there. But I waited. So we're gonna go and I go and I Curse the Seal his Spirit Master. And then that way he can't Synchro Summon. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just sit here, activate DNA Surgery. So I do a little cheeky play here because all these dudes are 0 defense and I'm going for the overkill. So what I do is I put my Kiteroid down so I confuse with my Kiteroid and maintain like an extra 3,000 attack on my Dragon Slayer man. So here comes the big nut pierce. So this one, so right here is, you see it's 5,800 attack. So that means it's enough damage to pierce both nuts at the same time. There we go. And that's usually how you destroy Shiranui or whatever. Alright, and then we'll do Sartorius. I don't remember this duel that well, but we'll try to explain it as best as I can. Piercing the nuts. Alright. Let's see. I forgot what he was playing. Okay, so I got like most of the combo. Okay, I don't know what the heck this guy's playing. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to thin out the deck with my emblem, and then I think I go into... Okay, I'm going to go into Buster Blader right here. Okay, and then... So I have a Buster Whelp in hand, so I just set both of my fusion spells, and then if anything happens to Buster Blader, I can tag him out with the fusion spell just in case. Okay, and then he just quits. Okay, so that's one of the things that happens with Buster Blader, is that if they assume you have the combo and they don't have a decent way out, like, they're just not going to play the game. So there you go. Okay. I think that's gonna be it for today, because I'm gonna split this up into like two parters. So that was just the replay section, And then the next video we'll do some live gameplay and try to win in front of the audience without hiding behind replays. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next video. Deuces!